The Bitterfly podcast. Knowledge is food, bitches. Eat up. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bitterfly podcast. Today, I have two guests I'm ecstatic to be interviewing, Nonie Creme and Reese. They are a couple from Lifetime's reality TV show, Marrying Millions. And before we start, I just gotta say the season finale airs Wednesday, October 7th at 10 p.m. on Lifetime Network. You guys definitely gotta check it out. But welcome, Reese and Nonie. How's it going, guys?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome, my fellow Seattleites. I was so excited to see you guys on the show representing the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. All the random shots of like Reese at the skate park and Nonie's like Queen Anne view of the Space Needle.
Oh yeah.
Chef's
Yeah.
kiss.
Primo Seattle, right?
Yep, classic. So thanks for coming on. What did you guys think of reality TV before this experience, and what do you think about it now?
I can probably speak to that
You
one.
go first.
Neither of us have ever watched a reality television show.
Well, no, that's not. That's
I haven't.
You haven't watched it.
I've never seen a Kardashian. I've never seen a housewife. I've never seen a single reality show. It's just not a genre I ever looked at. So I made an agreement with myself that when we decided to do this, I was absolutely not going to do any research because I didn't want to get turned off and not do it. And I also just kind of wanted to keep whatever we were doing as authentic and real, as possible. So I actually have no concept of what reality TV really means outside of us, outside of our show.
Yeah. I don't really ever watch TV either, but I think I have seen her, like, I grew up watching like Jackass, or like that was my reality TV, or so I guess I haven't really watched too much either. No, I want to say I've watched it from like my sisters or something. They like had it on, but like definitely different being like first time filming or anything was just like, it's super weird.
We were terrified. We were like, this is either going to be awesome and so fun, or like the worst decision we've ever made, and we're going to hate ourselves in a year.
Yeah.
So who convinced who to do this, or was it both a group effort?
No, she
totally convinced Reese. There are so many things that I want to talk about, and although reality TV may not be the loftiest platform, anytime somebody hands you a mic, it's your responsibility to fucking use it, right? So I like to talk about feminism. I like to talk about women in the C-suite. I like to talk about my business. I like to talk about parenting. I like to talk about a lot of stuff. So anytime you hand me a mic, I'm going to attempt to use it. And whether the editor gets all that in or not is on them, but at least it gives me an opportunity to speak to the people that buy my stuff and hopefully spread messaging that matters to people like the young women that my little girl is about to become.
I love that.
No, I don't know why Reese did it. He just did it because I told him to.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's been a lot of fun. It's just been like, yeah, it's a whole different thing, because it's like, it's like not everything's real. Like there's a little bit of whatever, but it's all pretty real. Like like seeing, we didn't know how they were going to edit it. Right? Like,
yeah.
So when they're filming, it's like, we don't know what's going to make what they're actually going to show. And then you watch it and it's like, oh shit, they really showed they didn't really edit it that much, like it's pretty real. Yeah.
Well, you guys came across as really down to earth, like compared to some of the couples on that show. Very normal. So I think it's awesome that you didn't, do any prior research. You didn't have like any background noise of kind of impacting maybe how you were going to come across on the show.
Right. Well, because then you'd start modeling your behavior on whatever you thought it was supposed to be instead of just being you. And I know a lot of reality TV is super fun to watch, but we want to bring the real back to reality.
Yeah.
So, Noni, did you do any, like, did you get on your soapbox about feminism, and was that part just like cut out, or is that coming later? Oh, constantly?
Constantly.
Is there anything notable you want to share to my listeners right now that didn't make it on the show?
Absolutely. You know what? I think it's fairly notable that even on a show called Marrying Millions, you don't see a lot of women in the role of the millionaire. So I find that very interesting. And I don't think it's for lack of the network attempting to find us. I think that many women are just not there yet in this country, in anywhere. So, you know, part of why I wanted to do the show was I was like, oh, I get to be, you know, the voice of the female millionaire. If I look at the other peers on the show, they're awesome. They're so much fun, and we actually have a great rapport and relationship with all of the other couples. But it goes without saying, which it shouldn't, that a significantly older man with a very young girl is considered like pat on the back, yeah, bro, way to go. And then a woman at 48 with a 30-year-old, he's a grown man, he's a 30-year-old man, partner is still considered like shocking or gross.
A little bit taboo.
Right. So what? So let's talk about that, right? Let's use this show to rip the lid off that nonsense. Sorry, I get super fired up about that kind of thing. Don't get me started.
No, that's what this platform is for. Definitely. Like, if you want to say anything more about that, like, Reese, what was it like for you getting a little bit of flack? You know what I mean? For dating, like, up instead of down in a society. It's hilarious.
I think it's really funny. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't even really think about it, I guess. It's like, I just wake up and try to do rad shit every day, and that's all I've been doing. I don't know. I don't really pay attention too much to the other stuff, but it has been crazy of just seeing, like, it's just such a crazy fucking time right now in the world, right? And it's like, you can't talk, like, the big networks, these big, you know, just big TV or whatever. It's like, they don't want the show's not about that. It's supposed to be like kind of to take people's minds off it or whatever. It's entertainment, right? It's like they don't want it to be like political, and like you can't be like, you know, it's like we did some interviews where it's like start talking about like all the protests and everything that's going on, and they're like, yep, that didn't make anything in the interview we did, you know.
Well, and there's a whole new C word that you're not allowed to say in public and on TV, right?
Oh yeah,
the big C word.
Wait, the C word? Oh. Yeah, COVID to me sounds like an STD, just as the word itself, which I think is kind of funny. But
my little girl says that COVID-19 sounds like a boy band.
It does. Yeah, and I think like maybe they wanted to age well or something. Like, you know, I did think that was interesting when I was watching back the show recently, and, you know, like was zipping through and just watching your guys' stories, that like nobody really addresses the pandemic. Nobody addresses, you know, any of the like social unrest that's going on in the world. Have you guys taken part in any of the Seattle protests?
Oh yeah, I did I went to a bunch.
Reese was down there pretty much every day.
But it's like, it's crazy because it's like, I go out and skate, or, you know, we go out and do stuff, and then it's like, and there's protests. So it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like,
he was more in the beast of the belly. I choose to be politically activated in other ways. I'm a nervous Nelly because I'm essentially a single parent. Anything that might put my safety at risk, I'm a little bit allergic to. So I use my voice in other ways, but I support everybody that gets out and does the heavy lifting, which is to go and march and really get out there.
Definitely. I also wasn't really sure about going to, I visited Chaz in Capitol Hill before it became CHOP.
Right.
I thought that was very beautiful. Like there was a lot of, you know, positive conversations being had and beautiful art being made. And unfortunately, you know, that had like a finite lifetime. on it. But yeah, just in general, I think it's like good to talk about, you know, you guys are public figures now, you know, in a sense, and to hear that you're supporting that kind of thing, I think could get, you know, other people who are maybe a little more apprehensive about it, you know, at least thinking and talking about it.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's awesome. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what was I gonna say? The everything going on. You know, it's just crazy, crazy fucking times. And it's like we
It's about to get a lot crazier on November 2nd.
Yeah, and it's fucking gnarly.
See where that goes. And I won't turn this into political.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say is that I was gonna say that like I don't really watch the news. I don't really follow any news. The way I hear most of my news is from my friends and people that, you know, that are like, you know, political scientists and shit, and like talking, you know, they follow it on both sides and they do all this stuff, and like it was really cool to see it happen in, you know, in Seattle and Portland. It's just like crazy. Yeah, like everywhere. It's like, I think it's badass. I think it's like that's just what has to happen, you know. Shit has to change. Like, it's not gonna just change overnight, you know. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, and this country has a history of not changing until people get angry. So, well, I guess that's a good segue into how did COVID affect the filming of this? Because initially, when you signed on, there wasn't a pandemic going on, right?
Yeah.
You
want to take this one?
Speak to that one? Okay, so we managed to get, was it like one session under our belt?
Yeah, we had one filming session.
So our filming sessions tend to last for a work week, which is about a 5-day period. Okay. They're extremely long days. They're 10, 12 plus hours. It's a lot of fun, but it's a big full-time job getting this show made. And so that's been a learning curve for us. We did get one good chunk out of the way, and then the pandemic struck, which halted filming for 3 months.
I don't know. I don't even remember.
Longer, for at least 90 days, I'm going to say. Maybe it was even a little bit longer. I'd have to literally look at the calendar. So filming got shut down. So, you know, what does that do to our poor production company and the poor network who are trying to get this show made? What it ultimately meant was that when we reconvened for filming, it's much more laborious now. It's very, very stringent. We have COVID testing within 48 hours of going on set, and we have to quarantine for those 48 hours. We are masked the entire time. You have to wash and sanitize your hands before entering and or leaving any room, any set. So it's for everybody on the set, not just us.
They were super strict. Like, the only time you didn't have your mask on was when you were filming, and like in between takes or whatever. It was like, I got to give them props for how well they handled it, because it was like, because that's like it's like a crazy thing, you know, because you're like, I don't want to get anyone else sick, and I don't want to bring anything back and get my family sick, or, you know, whatever. So it was pretty crazy. And but I think they handled it really well.
I feel like we're the safest set in reality television. Like, our set is so gnarly. You can't even take your mask off to like speak to someone or fix your mic. It has to stay on until you're literally filming, and then at that point, the entire crew backs more than 6 feet away, and it's just Reese and I and whoever else is in that scene, all of whom have fresh tests within 48 hours. So we feel really good about going back to filming. It does mean that we're filming almost every other week.
Well, it just makes it a lot
to
longer.
Make up for the lost episodes.
Well, and it's just a lot. I feel like it takes longer for everything, because they're sanitizing everything, like the microphones, the
doorknobs, everything.
Like every little thing. They're like, and so I feel like that kind of makes it like a little
lunch
bit longer.
Lunch is kind of sad. Now when we have to eat all by ourselves in a corner, like picnics for one.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's awesome to hear that it was so safe, though, because I can't believe that there's like controversy over like sanitizing and wearing masks.
Yeah, like it doesn't not help. Like,
well,
right? Like,
I'm fascinated to see, as a little bit of a sidebar, what happens with our flu season this year, because we're all masked. So I would love to see that we have the lowest flu season on record for 100 years. Like, it'll be interesting to see what the real efficacy of masks is around all sorts of other illnesses, not just COVID.
Yeah, I agree. That's interesting. My friends and I are like, we should normalize wearing masks. Like, if you're sneezing, you have a cold, like, just mask up. Why not?
Or even
Sure.
too, just like staying home when you're sick, right? Like, how many times you go to work when you're like,
When you know you're
when
sick.
you know you're
Yeah.
sick, but it's like, what, you're not going to pay your fucking bills, or you're going to lose your job because you show
Yeah.
up sick, and it's like, fuck that.
We need to
Take the
change the
fucking
culture.
sick day
We need
and
to
stay
change the
home,
culture.
and so you don't fucking, because like, I don't know. I don't know what to believe with
For your
any of
office
this
job.
shit.
At your office job, is that what happens?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, you guys are both from Seattle, right? Nonie, you're from Queen Anne, and
Well,
No.
I live in Queen Anne, but I wasn't
Okay.
born.
how long have you been in Seattle?
Oh Lord, 15 years.
Okay. And Reese, you're from
I'm
the
from-
show's the Beacon Hill?
Yeah, that's where I'm living at now.
Okay.
But I was born in like Kent, Federal Way.
Oh, nice. I'm from Kent. Shout
Oh, yeah.
out Kent. I have
Yeah.
so many Kent jokes. People
Dude.
falling and not getting out of Kent. So I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, dude, I moved out as soon as I could, and then I lived all over Seattle, from North Seattle to Capitol Hill to freaking Tacoma. I've lived all over. So, and then I've traveled a lot too. But yeah, Nonie's originally from Texas, and then she lived in London for like 20 plus years or whatever.
Oh, awesome. So I was just going to ask, you guys are from Seattle. What's your opinion of the Seattle freeze?
Oh, I got a new one on that too.
Tell me.
Okay, so yeah, I think I've totally heard that a bunch, right? But then someone was saying the other day of how they're like, it was it used to not be like that, and it's kind of starting to go back to like how it used to be, where that's not existent.
I
think
disagree.
no, I'm saying like it's a real thing for sure. Like, I hear people say it all the time when they first move here, but then I'm also hearing now it's like it's kind of going back to where people are being more nice, and they're
Well,
not.
because there's no Seattleites left. It's all Amazon people from out of town.
I don't know.
I am not a true Seattleite because I am a transplant from 15 years ago. But I can tell you, I'm the friendliest person in the world. I will talk to anyone. I make friends in line at the grocery store. I'm just that girl. And I didn't have a single friend for probably 2 years when I moved here. People were so mean to me. I got frozen out of every single female social circle I attempted to join. People were just wary of me. They didn't like my accent. They didn't like that I came from London. They didn't like the way I dressed, and I just got completely frozen out. So yeah, for me, it was a very real experience.
I mean, as someone that's from Seattle, I would definitely agree. Like, there's a Seattle passivity where people are like, yeah, totally, let's do it, and then like you never hear from them ever again.
Yeah. Damn, that's totally.
You're changing your mind a little bit. Yeah. Maybe it's different for men as well. Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Is Seattle freeze specific to women? That's another good feminist question.
I've heard it from both sides, but I don't know. I just remember Seattle, and I still feel like this of like anybody you see on the side of the street or walking or anything, you can talk to them and they'll talk to you. But it's like, that's like,
special.
I think it's like a different thing, like, well, and I just think as like a skateboarder and shit, and like you see a bum or something, most people would be afraid of, and I'd fucking say what's up to the guy. And yeah, he might be like I feel like there used to be way more crazy people in Seattle than what there is.
Lord, really? There's a lot.
No, I mean, I don't mean junkies or like, I mean like there was just crazy art people that like.
Oh yeah.
People, they all fucking moved.
Because they got priced out.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know.
High rent and low wages, Seattle.
Yeah.
We're sad about the changes to our city. We are. I mean, the landscape of our city has changed dramatically, and of course now huge swaths of our downtown or near downtown area are all dedicated to the big A campus, which of course we're glad for the revenue and we're glad for the tax dollars, but man, it's homogenized our city socially pretty significantly.
It really has. And it's touching like all parts of Seattle. Like I'm over in Ballard, so like, northwest Seattle. And yeah, you can even see like the Amazon like inching over that way, and like Google's in Fremont and tech's really taking over.
Yeah, shit's crazy. It's fucking.
We're
I don't know.
in Tech Town now. We're the new San Francisco.
I read an article the other day. It was something talking about how supposedly because of COVID and all this stuff that these businesses are gonna move shit to like these other states where they have more slack laws, and so in turn they're saying that the rent's gonna go down. But I was like, I feel like that was just total like bullshit. Almost. It's like,
they say that people are gonna move out of Seattle.
Yeah, they're saying that people because they're like because of the COVID shit, they're like Seattle's being pretty strict about it, whereas other states or whatever are more whatever. So, but I don't know. Who knows if that's true or not? But.
Well, the whole workforce. I mean, we all know this from personal experience. The whole 90% of our workforce is now perfectly capable of being productive working from home.
A lot of them.
So big companies are like, wait, why are we paying millions of dollars in real estate?
Exactly. Why do we have all these empty buildings and we're paying to keep the lights on? Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I think COVID and like stay-at-home order is kind of showing that you could probably live anywhere in the country and work for a city anywhere.
Right.
That may be the only silver lining of COVID.
Right, yeah. And to Reese's point, I can't really see rent going down. You know what I mean? Once it reaches a certain point, why would, as property taxes go up, like, the landlords can't afford to bring it down. You know what I mean?
I know. I don't remember what article that was, but I remember being like, this is bullshit. Like, there's no way. Why would it go down? If anything, it's only going to go up more. Like,
we'll have to see.
Because, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy times. And
the market is very volatile.
So well, I'm just saying, wait till see, who knows? We can't predict the future, but you see all these small businesses that are going under and fucking, they run out of unemployment or fucking, who knows? Like, I don't know. It's fucking crazy shit.
I hope that your podcast is open to sparring.
Oh, yeah. I always put an explicit tag on it because I often throw out the F word just without even realizing it.
I think that Reese can
speak
without the bleeper machine.
Uh-huh.
Did they bleep you out on the show? I didn't really notice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, there was some funny takes where
outtakes are
they're like,
they would do a show of just the outtakes.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
Because they would just be, because I just cuss a lot and say ridiculous stuff, I guess. Don't have that big vocabulary.
So would they be like, sorry, you gotta like PG, like turn that rating down and like re-say?
Yeah, like they were pretty cool about just letting us do our thing. That's what was crazy about it, really, is just how much like watching the episodes. I'm like, this is the first time I'm seeing it, and I don't ever really watch TV, but like, it's pretty cool to see because there's a lot of it that it's like it's just real. It's like
Lifetime is a historically fairly conservative network, and they've given us a very long and generous leash with how we behave and what we say and how we say it. And
but there's been a lot of times.
Really cool. It shows that they're moving, they're moving more into the current climate, and we've had a really extremely positive experience doing the show.
Well, they would say it's just like, okay, can you say that without saying fuck 4 times? So it's kind of like, all right, but yeah, it was cool, man. It's fun. It's crazy. It's like it's such a weird experience, It's like
I don't think Reese ever thought he would be doing reality television. He certainly was not excited when I put it forward to him. Yeah,
and now I love it. It's like so.
You love it? Are you allowed to say? Are you coming on for another season?
We don't. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We actually don't even know.
Yeah.
The network and the production company keep their cards very close to their chest. So
yeah, they do.
You'll know when we know.
Yeah, they're really funny with that shit too. It's kind of like they're pretty sick. Like it's a pretty good. you know, there's not like,
we don't even know our own.
Yeah, like, or I don't know. It's like I know what we filmed, right? But we don't know we don't see it until everyone else sees it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, we don't have any preview to episodes.
Okay.
And we don't know which episodes we feature in or not. So there may be a week where we're not on at all.
I know, and we're like hyping up the show. We're like, everybody watch the show, and then they're like, dude, you weren't on it. And we're like,
I did notice, yeah. I think there were 2 episodes that you guys weren't on, or at least 1 for sure.
On this first chunk, there are only 2 episodes that we're not in, so that's
okay. But would you be willing to do another season of this?
Oh yeah, we think it's great.
Yeah.
We got a whole lot more story to tell.
Dude, there's like, that's what's been so cool. If it's just like, I can't do any spoilers, but like, it's just pretty cool. They're like letting us, it's like I just wake up and do rad shit every day, and they come and film it, and it's like, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm excited to see how this next episode next week's gonna be.
Yeah, the big wrap up.
The finale, wrapping it up.
Ooh,
I'm excited as well to see that. Side note, Reese, you should maybe make shirts that say "Wake up and do rad shit every day."
Damn, that's a good one.
Note to self.
Yep.
Yeah. Nonie can help you with that. She's in the business. So okay, with the show, it briefly touched on how you guys met. I don't think you ever came out and said what dating app. You just briefly mentioned we met online. We talked a little bit. And Reese, you didn't think that Nonie was real.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what app you met on and a little bit about the beginning?
Yeah, sorry. We met on Tinder.
Okay.
And it was pretty funny because we had matched and then we just like stopped talking for like 3 or 4 months. We just like, I didn't think she was a real person. I was like,
you thought you were being catfished?
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was like some scammer or something, some old guy.
Some old man.
Yeah, some old dude in his basement.
Some gross guy in his basement, I was gonna say.
So then it was like 3 or 4 months, and then I don't know why we started, or you started, you hit me up, or I hit you up, or something.
I'm sure it's right. We did that class. Have you ever been in a dating app?
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what's funny is my last episode that I just aired, it was actually with a guy I met on Tinder a few years ago.
Yeah.
We're just really good friends now. Yeah, but I mean, I've been around the block. I've used Tinder. I think that's hilarious you guys met there because I know other dating apps get, like, I guess a better reputation. Like Bumble, is like women take charge.
We're the scummy ones.
Okay.
Tags are on Tinder.
I don't know.
I think that's the reputation, but it's been a minute. I don't know what. I think Hinge is like where everybody's hanging out now, or whatever.
Definitely.
Or even just Instagram. People are just scamming on each other on Instagram because nobody wants to go on an app anymore. They're just like sliding into your DMs and whatever.
That's so true.
We did that thing where we were like all hot and heavy texting, like, "Hey, what's up? What's up? We should meet up. We should meet up." And then we both just like got distracted by whatever life, probably other people at that point, and it just went. And it just went quiet. When you have 4 or 5 people you're chatting with and they kind of come and go. Mm-hmm. So we fell off each other's radar for a long time. And then around Christmas, we suddenly like popped back up and started communicating again. Then we made like a commitment to actually go on a date. And then once we met, it was done. We were like, oh yeah, this is done.
Oh, can you tell us about your first date?
Yeah, we went out to this shitty dive bar. It was like a sports bar.
It's a shitty dive bar. It's an awesome dive bar.
It sounds like Nonie picked the place, did she?
Yeah, Nonie picked the place. It was a sports bar, and I'm not really a sports guy. And so I'm like sitting there, and there's like a fucking, whatever game on.
The game's on,
yeah, whatever that is. And which whatever, I rep Seattle for shit. But like, anyway, I'm sitting there, and it's just everybody's looking at me like, what am I doing here? Because I'm not like, everyone's wearing like Mariners shit or Seahawks shit, and I'm like, whatever. And so I'm sitting there, and then Nonie came, and then it was just on. We fucking started talking, and it was like,
we're there for so long.
yeah,
So
it was
we were
like,
just like, I can't drink anymore.
yeah,
Falling out of our chairs.
yeah.
That sounds like a good date, though, when you're having such a good time. You're like, yeah, I don't really want another drink, but I'll have one because I just want to like keep talking, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's
it was
like, you
great.
know, the nerves you get too, like when you go on a first date. And then, like, for me too, because I had like Googled her because I didn't think she was real.
Oh my
So,
God, did that stress you out? Were you like
yeah,
so scared?
I was like, like, don't fuck this up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit, if she's real, this is crazy. And then, yeah, when she came, and then it was like, oh, yep, she's real. And then it was just, once I got her laughing, I could tell it was like, it was on, you know?
Noni, what was your perspective on the first date?
Well, you know, I have always been part of kind of the skate and music and motorcycling communities. So it's not like Reese was some giant surprise to me. You know, I've always known people in those realms and hung out with people in those realms. So, and honestly, I knew what he looked like. I knew he was, you know, adorable and, you know, funny, and I knew he was a big skater. So I walked in and I saw him at the end of the bar, and he like hadn't even taken his coat off. He's still wearing like this giant, like furry puffer thing with his hood, his hat. And it's like he was so uncomfortable. And I just found it so totally disarming and charming that I knew that I was interested in him pretty much the second I said hi.
Aww. So was there a particular moment after your first date where like either one of you can answer where you just like knew you're like this is the one?
I think it was on the first
I
day.
think so too.
It was like,
Really?
yeah, I think it was within like a couple minutes of talking to each other. We're just like,
It was like,
all right, so fucking,
yeah, so
we're
where do you want
fucked.
to live?
Like, yeah, we don't have a choice in this. It's weird.
Well, most recently on the show, we saw you guys make the decision to move in together, which is huge and super exciting. We watched you pack up Reese's place for like a half second. And Noni, I loved what you said though. You were like, if we're not moving forward, like we're moving backwards. You know, like even being stagnant is in a way moving backwards. That really resonated with me. How has the transition been to living together?
Well, you will find out in the season finale.
Okay, little
It is
teaser.
not to be missed. If you care about our storyline at all, this would be the episode not to miss. So I won't give too much away, but obviously we're sitting here happily smiling at you doing this podcast, so it can't be too terrible. But it is a hysterical episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're making it, conjoining very polarized lives is what we're doing.
Well, it's like we love each other, you know? That's what it, I think, all comes down to. And we can't really like give any spoilers, or we gotta be like careful what we say, but you know,
There's growing pains.
we love each other at the end of the day.
We
And
love
yeah,
each other.
whatever happens, you know, like she said, we're sitting here doing this. And yeah.
So that okay, it all works out, but there's some trials, tribulations to go through. Sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy segue into you guys also on the show face some opposition from friends and family on both sides about your relationship. Have you been able to combine social circles to create like one big happy family?
Yeah, like,
We're still working on it. We're still working on it. We have significant challenges on the record side of the family, as you know. And in terms of my friends, I think that's probably an easier bridge to cross. You know, blood is thicker than water, so
yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, you know. I think it's just hard in any relationship for meeting the other people's, you know, friends and family. And then when we have such a diverse kind of, you know,
it seems like
group
neither
or
side
whatever.
gets it, right? Like,
Yeah.
my friends are just like, I don't get it, and then his family are like, huh, we don't get
Yeah.
it, and we're just like, yeah, well, what's there to get, dude?
Yeah.
Like, just if you're not with us, you're against us. So you just get on board or or bye, you know?
Yeah, straight up. And it doesn't really matter because nobody else is dating Reese, you know? Nobody else is dating Nonie.
Yeah.
I think it's cool also, Nonie, what you said about fighting for bodily autonomy. Like, my body, my choice. Like, you know what I mean? And
always.
yeah, I thought that was cool that Reese supports you in that. And like, that's all that fucking matters. Nobody else's opinion matters, you know?
Right, right. Well, and it's so that those types of conversations are so personal, you know, when you're talking about, you know, your body or like illnesses that you've suffered. I almost died 2 years ago. You know, it's not, I know there's been a lot of speculation, which that I watch on social about like, oh, what virus did Noni get? Like, is it COVID? Is it this? Like, why can't she have children? So I'll just tell you what happened because it didn't make the edit. I have a rare and unknown genomic deficiency, which means I cannot fight specific viruses. I would have never known that I had this, except that I had the misfortune to come into direct contact with one of the viruses that I couldn't fight. It was called Coxsackie virus, which should be no big deal. Like it's little babies get it. It's called hand, foot, and mouth disease. Like nursery schools get it. Little kids get it. It's nothing. It's like chickenpox, no big deal. And I have this genomic deficiency that we didn't know about. I don't have any ability to fight that virus. So I got it at my daughter's daycare center and I almost died. Randomly. Randomly. I was fine 1 minute and I was almost dead.
One night. What? Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say that's so crazy. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, it was super crazy because she just
Reese
is like,
was with me the whole time.
Yeah, well, she's like, oh, I'm not feeling good. And I'm like, fucking drink some water, you know, like you'll be fine. It's just fucking, you're just sick, no big deal. And then it was like the next day, she's like, dude, I can't hear in my ear. And I'm like, well, that's probably just, you know, your sinuses or whatever. And then it was like, I don't know, a day or two.
It was horrible.
And then it was like, no, we're going to the hospital.
Like, we're going to the hospital. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. Yeah. I'm fine.
She's like, I don't want to pay I don't want to, you know, deal with it.
Ambulance.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you're fucked. Like you've lost your hearing completely in your ear. It could still attack more. You could lose your other ear too. Or your eyes or any of your, anything that's what do you call it?
Well, I ended up getting brain damage from this virus. So I'm completely deaf in my left ear. I have no hearing at all. I can't even wear a hearing aid. I have some facial paralysis on my left side, and it totally trashed my reproductive organs. But I did not die, so that's all that matters.
And she could have very easily died, you know.
That is so scary. I wish that they had included that in the show, and thank you so much for sharing that like deeply personal information.
No problem. I am not embarrassed at all. I like want people to know about, you know, these journeys because it really makes you a lot more real.
Yeah. When you explain that to Reese's family, did that like garner a little bit like more understanding of the situation?
No. Short answer.
What? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad you're here and you were able to do this show and bring like awareness to that because like there are a lot of reasons that people are infertile or unable to reproduce, you know, and that is a really interesting one I've actually never heard of before.
Me either.
Yeah,
I drew the unlucky straw.
I really enjoyed a picture that you posted on Instagram of your daughter and her saying something about pan is the most fair way to love, being pansexual. How has that been like bringing a child into your relationship?
It's been, I mean, are you want to?
No, you love children. You go.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like you don't want to bring just, you know, people into like, it was a while before I met Paloma and, cause you know, it's like, you got that protective, you don't want just someone that's going to not be here tomorrow, you know, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, it's been awesome because she's so smart and just, she's like an old soul or something. And like she teaches.
I shed a tear when Nonie said, I want to be like Paloma when I grow up.
Yeah.
If you met her, you'd be like, oh, yeah.
She's insane.
She's so totally unique. Even having a conversation with her, is like
Yeah,
so
she's crazy.
fascinating. She's just quiet, odd, introverted.
She's like the best kid. She just like reads books and draws and like does her own thing, and she's it's pretty awesome.
Totally has no preconceived notions about anyone or anything. She's very fascinated by the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
I probably said that wrong, community, and she's really, very involved with that at her school,
Yeah.
and an advocate for all sorts of different people from all sorts of different walks of life. She's just a totally fascinating 12-year-old person.
We could talk all day about
we could, but Reese is great with her.
Well, she's crazy too. She like taught me about she taught me about shit. I didn't know the, how you identify versus what you your gender, right? Like versus your sexual preference. She like broke all this, like taught me all of this, and it was pretty cool. So I was like, I never had a problem. Like skateboarders, we're all about whoever. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, whatever. But yeah, for her to, she's just very, very smart, and it's pretty cool. Like we've kind of already established that no matter what happens between me and Nonie, me and Paloma will still be friends. Like there's no, you kind of have to do that.
If the worst should happen,
you can't like.
Then that would be it.
It's not really like fair to use your kid as like a pawn.
Yeah.
And like the arguments
we're
and
both
stuff like
very
that.
close with my ex-husband.
Yeah.
He's our neighbor. We hang out
Super
with
cool
him.
dude.
He's the best. I love him. So we're not have one of those very fortunate, and we've worked hard divorces to make it completely about the kid.
That's awesome to hear.
It's pretty rare. I don't know a lot of divorced people that adore their ex as much as I do.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of cool. I mean, it really just speaks to like the maturity level too of, you know what I mean, when you can put like Paloma ahead of everything else and like
which is why you don't see her in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I figured that, and I think that is very wise. I do have to say I worry about the children of the celebrities that are being shared constantly, like their bath time, like every milestone of their life is just posted.
Dude,
online.
I get it. I just was hanging out with my family, and it's like, dude, just stop. And I do the same thing with her too, but it's like, and this is a little different, but it's like, dude, you don't gotta take a picture of everything. You don't have to be posting shit every time. Like, just be in the moment and take a mental picture, like take a mental picture and remember it. You don't need to, because now you're taking away from it by putting it on social media, and like the instant, like I hate that shit.
You're never gonna be you'll never be an influencer, my darling.
I know.
See, Paloma has never seen the show, although we offered that if she would like to watch it, she could. And she said, so we put it on in the we were all sitting in the bed and we put it on the TV, and it's the dinner party scene where things get fairly heated.
Oh my god, that was so intense.
So awful. And I'm wearing this like red sparkly top, and she literally looked at the screen for about 1 second and she went, "Mom, what are you wearing?" Like, ugh, I'm going to bed. And then she just leaves. She's never seen it. Absolutely absurd.
Oh. First I'm gonna ask Reese this, and then Nonie. How has dating Nonie been different than any other woman that you've dated?
Well, there's a lot.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's pretty crazy. I've never, first one, it's like dating someone that has their shit together, because a lot of girls, not saying girls I've dated in the past didn't have their shit together, but they were just,
I would say that.
Let me finish my because like girls I've dated in the past, they were fucking graduating college, they're doing hella shit, but it was like she's the first one where it's like, oh fuck, like she's got her own business, her own company, she's doing her own thing, and it was like it just changed me to where I go, I'm never gonna go fucking, like, I need to step my shit up, you know, like it makes me want to be a better human being all around. And I mean, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Like there's a lot. I don't know. It's just different than like normal, like I don't know, I guess that she's just more, you know, had more experience or whatever to be like, there's just no cut through all the bullshit. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
I love that. I know what you mean about being with someone who like has their shit together more or less than you, and I think it's better to be with someone that has their shit together more than you. It's inspiring.
Totally.
So with that, Noni, how has it been dating Reese, and how is that different than any other relationship you've had?
Well, Reese is what falls into this category that we like to call a handful. When people say, "What's Reese like?" I'm like, "Oh, he's a handful." No, he's great. He's super high energy, and you know, it can be a little bit exhausting. I'm 18 years older than him. Reese will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go outside, chop wood, come in, have his coffee, ride his bike 20 miles to the skate park, skate all day, then ride his bike to the next skate park, on and on and on, and back home, and then still be like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a run." And I'm just like barely climbing the stairs without being out of breath. So he's extraordinarily high energy, but that inspires me, and his youthful energy. It's fun being with somebody who is an age that you've already been. So it allows me to kind of remind myself, like, well, what was I going through at 31? Where was I in my life? How was I feeling? And it helps me to be more empathetic and sympathetic toward him. I try not to push Reese. I push myself extremely hard. I'm very, very hard on myself. I'm very driven. I'm a workaholic. And a lot of it is, not necessarily positive. I can be very, very hard on myself, and I can be very, very hard on other people. I have high expectations. And Reese has helped me to acknowledge that, everybody's different. Everybody does not need to be like me. And he's helped me kind of tone that down. It brings me a lot of joy.
So we saw a lot of other couples on the show this season fight about money, which is kind of comes with the territory, I guess. You're on a show called Marrying Millions, but you guys don't really like address that as a topic really at all, like the disparity in your salaries or like how it impacts your relationship. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah. You want to say it or you want me to?
I'll just be brief. Reese doesn't care about money. That's kind of the very short version of it.
I hate to spoil it, everybody. Don't mean to ruin the...
I've tried to get him to care about money, but I've failed. So, yeah, he doesn't care. And so it's a very easy conversation. There's nothing to fight about. He doesn't want me to buy him a Lamborghini. He doesn't want me to buy him a motorcycle. He doesn't want anything. He just wants to be with me and be part of the family. So it's he does not cost me a lot of money. He's a cheap date.
Cheap date. I love it. Yeah, because I don't know. I think a lot of times on not just shows like that, but in real life, the millionaire typically is kind of like, apprehensive. Like, is this person really do they love me or do they love my life? And it didn't seem like you guys had any qualms or concerns about that issue.
You don't love my life, do you? He wants us to like go live in Europe. He thinks my life is garbage.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah, it's all about time, That's the thing. It's like, fucking, how much is your time worth? How do you put a price tag on someone's time? That's what it is. That's what we've always asked of each other, is that we give each other our time, and attention. And so that's where
a lot more than money.
You can't put that. It's hard to put a price on that. So I think it is funny though, because the show is Marrying Millions. But that's what's been cool, I feel like, is that we've been able to kind of control the narrative of like, that it's like, they can't really air anything like that because we don't really fight about that, Like, it's not like a real issue between us because we just don't think about it because it's just like,
Yeah, we have plenty of we're not the perfect couple. We fight about plenty of things.
Yeah.
Just money doesn't happen to be one of them. I remember saying to the executive producer, early in filming, like, are you going to make me look like an asshole? And he said, hey, man, I can't use what you don't give me.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like an asshole, don't act like an asshole. And I thought, oh, right, okay. In summation.
Yeah, I did think that Nonie's been like the kindest, most chill millionaire I've seen on that show. If that means anything to you. But
I'm grateful, thank you.
Yeah, and leading into, fighting and stuff, a lot of couples in quarantine are wanting to scratch each other's eyes out.
Yeah.
Or breaking up, or, like getting too much time together, too much quality time. How has COVID affected your relationship? Has it changed much?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just having the TV show is going to affect a relationship, right? Like, and then we put the COVID thing on it. That's where, we've both had to say it to each other multiple times where we're like, hey, remember, like, we've just been quarantining for fucking 2 weeks or, however long. And, like, that's a factor in everybody's relationship. And it's like, shout out to fucking everybody out there that's, dealing with that, because it's fucking hard. Like, I got friends where they quarantined so hard. You know what I mean? Like, because their grandpa was sick or whatever. Sure. And so they were fucking going through it, man. And like, I think we've been lucky enough to where it's like, we're able to, we already kind of live a quarantine life. I feel like sometimes
we hate everybody.
We hate people, so don't fucking ever do anything. So it wasn't that hard. Yeah, like it wasn't that hard for us to adjust. But it did affect it though, for sure.
I mean, we get on each other's nerves all the time. Yeah. Of course. But that is the one benefit of that giant house is that we can just not see each other for like 2 days.
I did see that in an interview with you guys. You were like, we're using new rooms in the house.
Yeah.
For sure. We're like, wow, no one ever goes in that room. Reese, here's your new room.
So what do you guys like to do together? Like, what's your favorite way to spend quality time? Do you have a favorite restaurant, pre-quarantine that you like to go to?
Should we tell her what we like to do? We love, this is so trashy. We love to go to the casino.
Okay.
We go to all the casinos. That is like the high life. We go to the casino. Reese plays blackjack and slots, and I play roulette. And we have some drinks, and we get a hotel room, and that is like our date night. Going to the casino.
That sounds awesome. You guys,
so fun.
You good at roulette, like, or is it just for fun?
I always win. I never win. I mean, I can sit at the table for like a couple hours, so I can like really stretch out that whatever couple $100. But Reese will walk in with like $20. And then I was like, whatever, I'm going to go get a drink. And then he texts me, he's like, hey, I just won like $500. So like, what do you want to do now? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I was gone for 3 minutes. So he always wins. He's the luckiest. I know, touch wood.
That's interesting. I didn't expect that from you guys. I don't know what I thought your favorite things to do were, but that's hilarious.
It's so random. We even surprise ourselves. Like, that's so random. Love the casino.
We also do other stuff besides going to the fucking.
We just give the impression that we're at the casino like every day, all day.
No, that's like a special thing, but we go on hikes together. We go on walks.
We like to ride bikes.
We go on bike rides.
Oh, fun.
We do, I'll get a skate. You guys will come and hang out.
We'll picnic. We go to the skate park a lot. Like, me and the kiddo will picnic and draw and bring our books and he'll skate. Like,
we go camping. We like to do all kinds
of stuff.
Or not camping, but
he likes to camp.
No, you don't like camping?
You'll see.
Oh no, sorry. Let's just say be outside.
Okay.
And fucking, I don't know. We do all kinds of shit. Going out to eat, cooking food, all like normal couple stuff. I think.
Stick together.
Like to go to the movies.
Reese doesn't like to be around other people very much, so we haven't go to parties or anything.
Yeah. That's true. I do not like going to parties.
Does it matter like the size of the party? You know, like just certain number of people, are you fine with it, and then you're not?
No, I think it's just all like I feel like I've gone to enough parties and like gone to enough bars that like I don't really need to experience that. You know, I don't know. Like Nonie's like social butterfly, and
I
I'm
like
like
to be around people.
I like to do my own thing, you know, and not be around people.
I agree with both of you. I think small talk can be kind of horrible sometimes to deal with. Just like in a party setting. But it's also necessary to get to know people deeper than that. So
No, for sure. Like
I see both
I don't know.
sides.
Yeah. I've gone to more, it's going to her kind of parties too. Have been pretty sick, but they're also, it's like, there's a lot of fun ones, but then there's also ones where I just felt like a fucking sore thumb, you know, where it's like, we're in this gazillion-dollar house and there's like a fucking live band and, you know, a swimming pool full of fucking beer. And like, I'm the fucking poorest guy there. And it was fun. It was cool. But then it was also like, man, this kind of people are like trying to talk to me about, you know,
Your investment.
Yeah, like all this shit. And I'm like,
Is that what you said, investment portfolio?
Yeah.
Reese, how's your investment portfolio?
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, it's good. I don't know. So, but I don't know. It's crazy too now with like COVID. It's like, I do miss like going to shows and stuff. Like that's the only thing that I feel like has really bummed me out with like COVID, and just that for some reason I can go to a show if it's a band I love and I could be friends with everybody there and, you know, have a great time. But I don't know, there's something weird of just like,
not everybody, a lot of people have social anxiety. Yeah. It's totally a normal thing.
So when quarantine pandemic is over, who's the first music artist you guys would like to see?
That's a good question. I haven't even thought of that. I like that idea of thinking when this is over.
Yeah, it's actually called quarantine goals. It's like, what's your quarantine goal? Like, what do you want to do after this?
Yeah. That's badass.
Mine would be something that you would think was really lame. Like I would want to go to like some giant sparkly Beyonce thing or something.
Oh, fun.
You would want to go to, Reese is a diehard metal and like thrash and skate metal and death metal person. So I don't know what you'd want to see.
Fucking goddamn Zorch Realm, fucking my homie's band.
He just wants to go see like local thrash.
Yeah.
Like, you gave him the keys to the kingdom and he just wants to go down to the High Line and watch his friends play.
Pretty much. That's probably.
You could have said any band if you want to just go watch them.
Yeah, I think so, because they're like the best shit, like the best times, you know. We just like, it's so much fun. But yeah, I don't know the best. That's a good. I think I'd say my friend's band.
We'd like to travel. We'd like to.
That's what's really up. I'm trying to go to Europe or just get out of America.
What's the first trip you guys are gonna take? Your quarantine trip?
London.
Yeah,
we're gonna go back to London. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have family there, and I have some property there that it's just I haven't even been able to check on because of all of this. So we'll probably head out to London and visit with our family and take the kiddo to see her granny and her puppy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I hope this ends soon so you guys can do that.
Thank you.
Do you have any date suggestions for fellow Seattleites that are also struggling with quarantine and just need some new fresh ideas?
Date or day?
Date.
Oh, date.
Date, right?
Yeah.
You want to go first or you want me to share?
Well, okay. So something that I've been getting into doing, which probably is what people already know to do, so we like to go to Discovery Park. Discovery Park is huge.
Or I guess just any park, right?
But I particularly like Discovery Park. I just love it there. You can get kind of lost in the trails. You take your little backpack with your White Claw and you go for a little boozy hike and you sit down. And I think that's really fun. And like we said, we do like to go to the casinos, which are open, by the way.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Idea. That's the worst date advice. Go get Yeah, that's horrible. No, I'd say fucking get thinking, get creative, you know, like try try to be fucking romantic and
Games
try to
are fun.
do, yeah, or go do games or like, you know, go on a fucking walk or like just, I don't know.
Oh, I have a good one. I have a good date idea. Go to the archery range.
Where is that? That sounds awesome.
So awesome. It's north, but not terribly far north. It's like maybe 15 minutes north. What the hell town is this?
I don't know. We'll have to look.
Not even as far as Bothell. There's an archery range. They're open. You wear your mask. It's all in lanes. But you could go and whatever, have your little food or your drink.
And then if you don't like the date, you shoot them.
Yeah. The archery range is so fun.
That way you feel safe.
Go to the archery range.
Safe.
So for the archery range, do I need to have all my own materials and know how to do this?
Have all the stuff.
All the stuff. And if you even want to book like a 30-minute lesson, it's only like $40.
Oh.
And they stand there with you and teach you all the thing, and then they just leave you alone and you just practice. It's so fun. Oh, and then Interbay driving range.
Oh, I go there all the time. Maybe I'll see you guys sometime.
Yeah, that's what
range
you do.
is so fun. So that's a fun date spot because they have food and drinks, so you can, you know, do your thing while you
play putt-putt in the 9-hole too, or just driving range?
I forgot about that. No, well, we'll take the kid on putt-putt.
We do putt-putt, but we go to the top deck and smash balls, yeah.
Okay.
But no, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I'd hate to have to try to date during quarantine like that. It'd be crazy.
Yeah. Lots of picnics. I think one positive from the pandemic is it's forcing people out in nature, you know, because for some time, all you could do was go to a park.
Right.
Yeah.
Get on your bike.
We're outside a ton. We nerd out, like we garden. We get out in the garden all the time.
Yeah, I guess that would be another thing would be like, go to like, I don't know if Recycled Cycles is still open, but like go rent bikes, you know, go for a bike ride, go to the Jupiter bar, you know, Queen Anne or whatever. Like they got outdoor patio because, it's like it's really hard to, you know, you can't like go to a movie anymore. Mm-hmm. You can't, you know.
Can you rent I think you can still rent the electric boats. That's a fun day.
That's a good one.
Electric bikes, is that what you said?
Or the electric boats.
Have you ever done that?
Oh no, I've just heard of the hot tub boats.
No, this is more for winter. They're the electric boats. They're totally covered. You bundle up, you bring your blankets, you bring your cooler, and you rent the electric boat and you just poodle all around the lakes. That's a fun day.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun. I was gonna say you can rent canoes at the UW docks for like an hour or whatever if you wanted to just go like do the Armageddon.
I'm not brave enough. I'm not getting into canoe. The electric boat is like a giant boat that seats 12 people.
Oh, okay.
And one other person.
So before we wrap this up, I just want to ask you guys, obviously no relationship is perfect, but what is the secret to a functional relationship? Please tell us. What makes yours work?
Wow. It's a loaded question.
Do you know it? Do you know that? It wouldn't, yeah.
I do know what it is.
What's the secret?
It's hard. There's not an easy answer to that one. It's something that everybody struggles with, and it's communication. Being able to communicate with each other in a way that is respectful and real and not hurtful, because man, everybody loves to bicker, right? Including us. Everybody loves to bicker. Everybody loves to get under each other's skin. But if you can find a way, a frequency on which to communicate well with your loved one, you're going to have the best sex life. You're going to have the best romantic life. You're going to have the best, life cohabiting. So that's really, I think that's the key, is clear lines of communication. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just, you just don't argue, or you just don't fucking, whatever it is that goes down. Like, I don't know. I wish if I knew, I feel like I'd love to tell you, but I don't feel like I really know what the secret is. I think for me, it's just not it's like what she was saying, communication and just, I think allowing the other person to kind of be themselves too, and, find themselves on their own. And like, it's like, if Nonie didn't let me go skate, then this would have been over a long time ago. Cause that's something I've always had trouble with. Right. But like, I guess just advice would be, just let each other be, do each other's thing, and not like try to get, don't be so hard on yourself and each other. Like, cause we tend to be so tough on ourselves, of like, oh shit, I should have done that or blah blah. And it's like, I think just being in the moment. I guess that's the key. It's just being present and conscious. And like you can do that, then pretty much anything that happens, you'll be able to deal with.
It doesn't hurt to be deeply in love as well.
That too.
I agree. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to throw out to Seattleites at large or anyone that's been following, you know, your love story on Marrying Millions?
Well, just that, you know, we hope that we continue to entertain you, and we're very grateful for your attention on your podcast, and we want everybody to tune in every single week to your podcast and check out whatever's going on and what interesting folks have coming on.
Trying to keep it interesting, you know, we're focusing on different lifestyles, relationships, wellness, sex, so.
I love it.
Yeah. Once again, beautiful people, if you want to follow Nonie and Reese on the season finale of Marrying Millions, it airs Wednesday, October 7th at 10 p.m. on Lifetime. And just thank you guys so much again for being on. This was so much fun for me. I hope you had fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Cheers.
Great chat. A lot of fun.
All right. We'll talk to you later.